Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you catch us on this episode of Making Better Choices. Today, I have the very, very privileged honor of interviewing my very own mother. And today's episode will be my mother's story. So, introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Sherry Deanne Hale. I was born Sherry Deanne Stevenson.
Okay, so tell the people where you're from.
I'm from Kansas City. Woohoo!
And you're from Kansas City and you're
I
in
live in
California.
Bakersfield, California now.
Okay.
I
So
love it.
so your life has been spent between Kansas and California, correct?
That's true. And Virginia.
And Virginia. You were in Virginia? Who were you in Virginia with?
You.
You were in Virginia with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about your time in Virginia.
It was fun. I liked it. I liked the neighbors and everything and the people. And just, I got sick and had to have a lot of surgeries and things. But all in all, I was with my baby. And I had a good time. He used to try to put me all the time in 1500 and dominoes and stuff. But it was kind of even on that.
Okay, so when you say you were with your baby, who are
That
you
was
referring? Who are you referring to?
Gregory LeCount Wells,
Oh,
Sr.
oh, don't put nobody's whole government name out there now. You were with your baby. You could have just said me.
Okay. You.
So you came to Virginia to live with me, and that's the time period when I was trying to take care of you. How was that for you?
It was fine. You did a very good job. It's just I was so sick. It was things you just couldn't do. But working a job and trying to take care of your mother, I'll never forget how good you were to me in doing it. Taking me all around to the doctors and stuff because they didn't provide me transportation and all. But you did a very good job. Through all the tears and wishing this didn't happen and all those kind of things, you were great. I knew you was crying because you let me see it, but you cried.
I don't know about all that. So
Oh,
I love you. I do, but I
I
don't know
know.
about all that. I'll say this. So what would be some of your fondest memories of raising your children?
Starting with my oldest, well, I do it this way. My boys, I wanted y'all to play sports because I did. And I played all the sports with y'all. I was rough with y'all, hard on you. I remember I used to play basketball with you, knock you down, throw the football at you, baseball, make it hurt your hands. That's what you had to do when you got in the league. I played with y'all and taught y'all how to play the games and stuff when you was little. I started little. And y'all enjoyed it. First, y'all would cry. Mom, what are you doing? I said, that's what they're going to do you if you get in the NBA or the NFL or the baseball league. They're not going to have any mercy on you, so let's do it. And y'all learned to play. I remember the time you and your brother were playing at this baseball field in Turner. They had a lot of fields. One, Bob was way around there, and you was way around here. But I got to see two amazing things. I saw Bobby throw a ball in from center field to home plate and get a man out. I watched you pitch a no hitter, and I got to see all that, and it was amazing. I paid a little boy $10 to use his bicycle so I could because I got tired of trying to run. But I made to see all the best points of that game, those games. And I didn't let neither one of you down. I was at both of your games. Now my girls, they weren't interested in things like that. But we had tea parties and make cookies and stuff and all like that. And I taught them how to cook and we sit and cook and stuff. And we did a lot of eating. That's why we all got so fat. But we did a lot of eating of the stuff we was cooking. But I taught them how to do all that, and I loved it. It was special time. It was special time.
So it's safe to say that your boys were athletic. So you would say that me and my brother played more than one sport growing up.
Yes. Yep.
So what sport did you think my big brother would play as he got older?
I thought both of y'all would go to baseball because my father played baseball. My father was the catcher, was one of the catchers for Satchel Paige, but it didn't pay enough money. I wasn't born yet, but he told us about it, and I see him in the museum and stuff and all. It didn't pay enough money for him to take care of family, and he was going to school, or he was going to college also, because he was trying to be a better man to take care of his family. And he just had my older sister and the two older sisters I wasn't born yet.
So you said your father played catcher for Satchel Paige. That's a legend. What
Yes.
team? So can you tell the viewers what team they were playing on when your father was playing catcher for Satchel Paige?
The Monarchs, Kansas City Monarchs.
Negro Leagues.
Yes, Black League, Negro baseball. And there's a museum with my father's picture and everything in it in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm not exactly sure of the street because right now I'm getting a little older, but I've been to it. I go into it every time I go to Kansas City, and look at and see all the different people and they playing. I watch all that. I love that about my family. How the men in my family were athletic, brothers, sons, and
So,
that's it.
so was my grandfather where I got my athleticism from?
He was very good. He taught me. I was a tomboy. He taught me because he didn't have a boy yet, so he roughed me up. Because it's 4 years between me and the first boy.
So do you have any brothers or siblings?
I have 4 brothers: Floyd Jr., Lester Ray, Michael, and William.
Were any of your brothers athletes?
All of them played ball and stuff and everything because they wanted to follow their father's footsteps. But none of them pursued that career. Floyd Jr. went to Emporia State College and he wanted to play football, but he was a quarterback. And he quit because he found out there was a lot of good young black men that could be quarterback. And he thought he was going to be quarterback and he didn't get that position. He was third string. And he got no mad and quit. And daddy got on him, told him, if you quit that, you'll quit everything in life. Oh, he said, you never quit. Even though you're third string, first and second could mess up and get hurt. Then you have your chance. You don't give up. If you're going to be a part of a team, you stay and help your team. Whether you're fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, or 10th, you still have a position. Some people wanted to have a position, didn't get one. So you never give up. You stay there and try your best to support your team.
I like that. It's a real good answer. And it's some good advice. So you were the type of mom that would do whatever she had to take care of your household.
Yes.
That I can say. Would you care to elaborate on some of the things that you did as a single mom
Ooh,
to make sure that your kids didn't
it's
go
a
without?
I did some very naughty things, and I don't want to talk about them because now I've given my life to Christ. I've never sold my body or anything like that, but I did a lot of things to make money to make sure my kids got to eat. We had a deep freezer kept full of food. I fed your friends, and we fed the kids. As mamas that didn't have food, that was on drugs and stuff and all and everything else. And I did a little bit of selling drugs. I admit that part of it. But the rest of it, I don't want to discuss. That's a history I put out of my mind. But just know that I learned from it. And I've gotten back in church and found that I could have done things a better way. But at that time, that was the only thing I could think of to do. Because my main concern was y'all eating every day what you wanted to eat, that you didn't miss no meals, trying to keep the water, lights, and gas and everything on, rent paid up and everything. So it was a job being a single parent.
Understood. So you said that you made some choices that you weren't proud of as a parent growing up, but you did what you had to make ends meet for your children and your household, correct?
Yes.
Now, I would like to ask you, were there any consequences for any of those choices that you made growing up?
Now I got locked up, and I don't want to discuss that, but just know I did get locked up, and I learned. I was sitting there, and they were having church service, and I went in there, and for some reason, something told me to open the Bible to Ephesians, and the Lord told me put my foot on a rock. I didn't need to do all that other. There was a rock up under me. All I need to do is put my foot on that rock, and everything would come to me. All my blessings and dreams would follow through a different way. And so I did that, and I just started reading my Bible again because I was brought up in church and I swayed. And I've been back now and I enjoy it and I love it. And I keep my foot on that rock. Ephesians 6 is my favorite Bible verse. I love the whole chapter 6.
All right. So, do you think any of the choices that you made while parenting negatively impacted any of your children in any way?
Yes, yes. Bobby was so busy trying to be like his father that he wouldn't listen. And I had to leave his dad because the oldest three kids' dad because he wasn't doing what he needed to do. I needed a man to help me raise my children, not one that wanted to go out and gamble and run the streets and all and everything. I wanted a man to be in a house. You had to be there. You have a son here and two daughters. You need to be here with them. Daughters need their fathers also, not just their mother. Boys don't need just their father. He was in that old school thing. The man raised the boy and the woman raised the girl. But then if that was true, you still didn't raise your son. And he ran around a lot. So I left him and my struggle began. Now he did work and pay the bills. I'll give him that. I'm not gonna short him. He did work. You know, he changed jobs like he changed shirts, but he always made good money on them. And took care of the bills and bought us a house and stuff. But when I divorced him, I didn't take anything. All I wanted was child support. And he didn't pay that. So then I came to Kansas City for my baby brother's graduation. And his wife then that he had started calling me, threatening me because my ex-sister-in-law told him I came back there for him. Nothing he could have done for me. But if I was down on my luck, I could have been crawling on my belly like a snake and I wouldn't have had him. But that's the lie she told, so they worried me. Caller ID had just come out. So when my mother came home, I stayed at her house. I showed her what was going on now because I was so mad. But he loved my mother. He loved my mother. He would have done anything for my mother. Bobby Colding was crazy about June Evans Stevenson. So he came over when she called him and he showed her. And I told him, you're going to regret that. And I stayed extra. And I went to the courthouse the Monday morning and I filed for back child support. And I was granted it. You couldn't come back with me because you got chicken pox while I was there. So you had to stay longer because I had to get back. And all in all, it was a good trip. Y'all had fun seeing your old friends and playing around and stuff and all and everything. But we came back to California and all, and things started falling apart again. I'd meet men that were good men, but then because I worked and made my own money, men thought I didn't need them. I don't know if I was showing them that side of me, which I do feel that if I can't get it myself, you're not gonna help me because you don't want me to live the way I want to live. Y'all always call me bougie, but I like the finer things of life. And I don't think anything's wrong with me wanting the finer things of life. So I had to work two jobs. Bobby became my banker, paying the bills. Sharita became the cook, clean the house, and she thought she was your mother. Tabby would take you to daycare, which you got put out of some of them because you wouldn't play with the kids because you thought they were too nasty and dirty. You don't want to play with them kids.
I'll just tell all the
So,
secrets. Go ahead.
so, and you were responsible for the trash. So it worked out for us and all and everything. So and then Tabitha gets hurt. And, she's riding a moped and she didn't need to be on. And she had somebody on there that didn't know how to ride and lean with her and fell and broke her hip. That's when our life really took a dive to the end. So I had to get her to the hospital so much and stuff. I couldn't keep a job, couldn't get any help. So I had to get on welfare. The worst thing I could have ever done, but I had to. I had to pay them bills. They were rising high. So the Medicare card helped pay them. Kept food in the house and make sure the freezer didn't get empty and stuff and all, but still was enough money to keep everything going. So I had to start me a new trade. I was selling drugs to help ends meet. I didn't do it a lot, but I did a little bit there just to tighten up everything and all and everything. Then by me cooking my own and sampling, I almost got hooked, but I went to the Lord and told him, I need this to make the money, not for me. I can't make no money if I'm smoking it. I said, now, Lord, I have to test this to make sure my customers gonna want this. I said, but please don't let me get hooked. And he did that. And but he told me, don't make this a habit. Oh yeah, the Lord helped me out. Oh, yeah.
So you gonna sit here and tell me that the
Yes.
Lord helped you sell drugs?
No, I didn't say he helped me sell drugs.
Okay.
He let me. He allowed me.
Okay.
He allowed me because he had to show me that what I was doing was wrong and make me come back to the church. But he understood me trying to do it myself. And he told me, when you need something, you're supposed to lean on me. I didn't do that. I wanted to lean on myself, not him. He told me to lean on him. I leaned on myself. So then they raided my house, but they didn't find anything. And so they had to leave me alone. Because I had myself put away, but then I learned to leave it alone and everything. So then God really started talking to me and working with me. And so I came back to California and got myself together. This is where I found that I wasn't around my friends judging me. These people here know nothing about me. They don't know my past or anything. I tell them that's none of their business. You're meeting me now. Let's make a pass. You don't need to know about my past. You don't need to know what's happening with my kids or anything. You don't know them. So why do you want to discuss what's going on with or what my kids do and all that? It's none of your business. Now, when you wrote the book, now I did sell the book a lot to everybody, and everybody was ready to get it because the fact is they got a book by somebody that they thought they knew. Because thought they knew me, so they thought they knew my son. And they helped me help you try to make that book, run good. And then Bakersfield's been really good to me. Bakersfield's been really good to me.
So
Even
this
though, huh?
so this book that you're talking about that I wrote, would this be the book that you're talking about?
Why Man Cheating? Everybody loved it. All women loved it.
Okay, with that being the book that I wrote, what would be what would you say about the book? Take away the fact that I'm your son that wrote the book. Take away the fact that I'm the author.
It
What
was
is your
very
personal take?
entertaining. It was very entertaining, and it made a lot of sense. I understood it. And all the old ladies I stayed with in the building, they're still waiting on the second part to come out. Now, some of them have died because we are seniors, but the ones that are still alive, they're waiting on the second half to come out. Now I've told them about your game that you're going to bring out, and they want to do that because they like doing the shots and stuff and all and everything. So they'll drink. Now, old ladies are fun now. Like I said, I ain't gonna hang with one of them shots that much, but I'll drink some punch or some water because I can't do all them shots they don't do. But
So,
they're ready for the game to come out. As I brag on my kids all the time.
and
I
I
lost both of my
appreciate that.
daughters. I lost both my daughters, but I still brag on them. They were good daughters. I mean, everybody has their bad patch. There's no perfect people in the world, and that's what the United States and the world has to learn. There's nobody perfect that's living. You can't be perfect and be alive because we were born into sin. So you're going to do wrong. It's not that you plan to or whatnot. Sometimes it just happens. But that's when it's happening, is when we need to go to God, our Father, Heavenly Father, and help and ask Him for help to get out of this sin and stuff and all. Now, the world is messed up because I feel the worst thing they can do, when I used to fill out the applications, and some jobs I didn't get hired on because of what I said. When they say race, I said human, because that's my race. I'm human. I'm of the human race. My birth certificate might say black, but that's because that's what man has made up. But the races were made by God, and I'm human. I am of the human race. And some jobs with white folks didn't want to hire me because I wouldn't admit I was black. Black is the color of my skin. That does not mean that's the race I'm in. The race I'm in is human, but I'm a black human. And they didn't like that. They said I was political, things like that. So maybe I was, but I believe the race I'm in is human.
I like that. All right, so let's get back. We're gonna get off of me because this is about you. This is a mother story. So I would like to know, starting with Tabby first because she passed first. Now, Tabby was one of my sisters, and that's your daughter. So how did her passing affect you?
I was miserable and lonely for a long time. Tabby was my buddy, my partner in crime or anything like that. That was my buddy. she was always there for me for a while, and then she strayed. And she married her second husband, but when she was with Floyd, that was my baby. That was my baby, and she wouldn't do right with her diabetes. You know, when her husband started messing around with stuff, she just didn't care anymore. And I told her, you never give up on yourself behind anybody, man, woman, child, or anything. You lived through breaking your hip, falling off a moped and everything, all them surgeries you went through, being in a full body cast for a year and a half and everything. You went through all that to just let yourself go now. And I couldn't understand that. And I still don't. I've tried, I've asked, but God says what he had to do. And I couldn't understand my daughter being gone before me. She was supposed to bury me, not me bury her. I miss her. Every birthday I put on there, happy heavenly birthday. I don't usually get on Facebook that much. But when I do, I get on there every April the 10th, I tell her happy heavenly birthday and that I love her. Now, Sharita, that was my confidant. She knew everything about me. And she thought she was your mother. And she just knew everything. She knew what to do, where everything was and all and everything. And again, she got tired of the dialysis. And like I told her, God's not going to put nothing on you you can't handle. You just got to deal with it and hope for the better. You know, maybe science will find a cure or something. She said, Mama, you don't go through it. You don't understand how it makes you feel and stuff. So one day I was sitting at home watching TV, going to play some dominoes. And I got the phone call. And she told me she was at the bus station. So Chocolate and I jumped in the car and went and picked her up. And I asked her, why did you come here all of a sudden? She said, I was born with you and I'm going to die with you. And that's what she did. My daughter felt that the only person that she could be with when she died was me. She said, because we've been close all my life. She said, I've never had anybody, my kids are not as close to me as you were. And she said, so I want to be with somebody I know loves me and enjoys me. And so I just hugged her. I tried to get her to dialysis and stuff. They told me they didn't think there was anything they could do because she had missed so much in Kansas City. So that was daughter number 2 I buried. And I still miss her. Happy heavenly birthday. Every March 21st. I'd light a candle and say a prayer for both of them on their birthdays. No, but I miss them so much.
I know you do, and I miss them as well. Those were my big sisters and my older brother Bobby, as you were speaking on, because I am your baby boy, as you already stated. And is it true that Tabby tried to? I want to get this to some more humorous times so I can bring you back. That was kind of emotional, and I'm holding together. Tough as it is, I'm holding together, especially for seeing my mom in that state. But is it true that Tabby tried to flush me down the toilet when I was a baby?
Cutting teeth. So cutting teeth makes it rough. It was her turn to watch you. Well, she was trying to get you to go to sleep and you wouldn't go to sleep because your gums were hurting. I had told her the teething lotion was in that one bottle. All she had to do was take it, put some on her finger, wash her hands, put some on her finger, and rub it on your gums, and you would go to sleep. You wouldn't go to sleep, so she said, I'll flush this little black boy down the toilet. And so I happened to
That
come
wasn't a
in.
rumor.
Huh?
So that wasn't a rumor. That was always
No.
true.
She carried you to the bathroom, and I came in. And I said, where's my son? And she said, I got him in the bathroom. I said, what are you doing in the bathroom? He ain't potty. He don't know how to use the potty. Nothing. He ain't potty trained. I said, you don't carry him in the bathroom when you use the bathroom. That's not something he needs to see. And she said, I wasn't trying to make him sound. I was very dry. And I said, oh my God, what did he do? She said, he won't stop crying. I said, did you rub his teeth and lotion on his gum? She said, oh, I forgot that. But he just cried. So she did try to flush you down the toilet. She didn't get to, but she wanted to.
Another rumor. Is it true that she dropped me on my head when I was a baby?
No, she didn't drop you. She dropped you on your butt. You bumped your head on the couch.
Same
She was
thing.
trying to carry you. You started kicking her. So she said, kick me one more time, I'm gonna let your ass fall. And you kicked her, she dropped you down the floor.
And y'all wonder why I acted the way I did.
This what, you know, Tabby wanted to be with her friends. Tabby, you know how Tabby was about her friends. Well, when it's her turn to babysit, I don't know, for some reason, she couldn't get you to calm down. Now, Sharita thought she was your mama, so she could calm you down. But Tabby could never get you to calm down and take that nap where she can go outdoors with her friends. And she couldn't carry you outdoors because I said no. Because you have a lot of allergies still. And we didn't know yet how to deal with it. So you couldn't carry you outdoors. I had to do that.
Well, the good thing is both my sisters wound up being my best friends.
Yes, they loved their baby brother. They loved
their baby brother, and they would not let nobody bother their baby brother.
Tabby would fight for you. Sharita too.
Literally.
We all know.
Tabby,
Kickstand. She goes.
I remember knocking a grown man out in the Delavan Apartments.
Yes.
Remember, he was laying on the curb, nose leaking. She knocked him out in the apartments. And I remember Sharita, she broke her toe or something.
Kicking a man that when they hit Marcus. You slapped him with one hand and knocked him out.
No, not that time.
Oh.
I'm talking about when them grown men tried to jump me at 14 at Quindale Elementary School in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one.
And yeah. she broke her toe trying to kick somebody when we were fighting that day.
Yeah, she was trying to stomp him, and then she was very kicking, and he moved, and she kicked that curve.
Well, one thing I learned is that came from Mama, because you taught us if one of us fight, everybody better come home with a scratch, or we got to fight you.
Yep. So I said everybody better get a lick.
So all those family fights that we had, which takes me to a time. Hold on. Like I said, I want to go back to the funny moments.
JFK.
JFK. John F. Kennedy Recreation Center in the 80s in Kansas City.
Yeah, that was a day. I was trying to get ready to go to work.
Once again, I'm too young to be fighting these grown people, but my brother did that. Got me stealing on this grown dude his age. And then we're all fighting, and then you come, and I'm old enough to remember this, because I was old enough to be doing something I had no business. I shouldn't have been out there fighting no adults. That's first and foremost. They're disrespectful, and I shouldn't have been. However,
he came at you, though. I told you to defend yourself.
But as I'm older now, I would tell a child different, only because look at the situations and circumstances that arise from things like that happening. A lot of people are not here today now because of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm making better choices, because I know so many situations that I was in myself that could have been better.
But I didn't want people picking on my kids. It wasn't a child that looked nice and dressed nice and stuff and all. Okay, it's in progress.
Yeah, so I had to remember the reason for making better choices. I can think back on so many bad choices that I made in my life, so many bad choices I've witnessed others make, that I want to teach people to make better choices.
Yes.
I want to give them solutions, and I want to give them warning. I want to throw caution to the wind with the consequences that people face if they don't make better choices.
Yeah, because the officer that came there, Bobby was going with his girlfriend. So he arrested me for arguing with this woman because I was going to knock her. She spit on me. Yeah, so I was getting ready to hit her, and here he come up, and also I did call him a, can I say that online?
No, but you did call him some bad words. I remember.
Yeah, and so when he took me to the jailhouse, he was arresting the booking. So I said, what has she been arrested for? He said, because she called me up. He said, that ain't nothing to arrest you for. I said, he's mad at me because I'm the mother of the boy that's going with his girlfriend he wants. So he's mad, and they let me go. So I didn't get fingerprint or nothing. I said, but that woman spit on me, and that's assault. He said, you want to press charges? I said, no, I'm going to get her. He said, you can't go out there and get her. I said, well, I'm gonna get her. She spit on me. And so and he said, well, I'll see you when you get back then. I said, okay. But I
Yeah,
didn't
but
have to go back.
he,
Huh?
he knew what you saying you were going to get that woman that you would be back. But
But
speaking,
I didn't go back.
that's good. But speaking of jail, I wanted to ask you a question. When you did get incarcerated, how did it feel being taken away from your children?
Horrible. Horrible. That's when I really got back in my Bible and sat down and looked at my life. I looked at the women that was in there and stuff and how they were acting. And they thought I was anti-sociable. And they wanted to fight me and stuff. I said, you know what? I can fight. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to get myself back to my kids and my family. This is not my cup of tea. Y'all can do all them things y'all want to do, but just leave me alone. Well, because I was antisocial, I didn't know them. This one girl came up and we had a fight, and she bit me. I got the bite mark still on my arm. But I think she thinks every time she goes to the toilet because this girl was in there using the bathroom. And I said, don't flush it. And when she got up, I stuck that girl's face right on in there. I kept dipping it, like I was dipping a tea bag. I said, young lady, you don't know me. I don't want to fight. This is wrong, but you cannot bite me. You cannot hit me and think I'm not going to do something back. I'm not anti-sociable. Right now is not a time to socialize. You're supposed to be here trying to figure out how to get your life together and get it on the right track. And this is what I'm trying to do. Not come in here and listen to y'all's old stories and I don't know if they lies. Well, I don't know none of y'all. I don't even know your name. You don't even know mine. But you're gonna get mad at me because I don't want to come down here and play cards with y'all and stuff. I'm trying to get myself together. It's time for me to straighten up and go home. So then they left me alone because they found I was serious. I'm just not antisocial. I just had other things to do. It wasn't time to play cards and dominoes and down there dancing with one another and stuff and all. That wasn't the time for me. My time was to get myself together. And I said, and because I found God again. And that was my concentration then, was getting my life back together to bring my kids back home to me. Because your daddy had sent you away, Sheree and Tabby. Sheree was staying with mama because she was pregnant. And that she took Tabby because Tabby was handicapped. And then when she found Sheree, she was pregnant, she took her. And I felt bad because how my mother always made a difference. Like my father's mother, The yellow ones they want you and Sheree. Sure and Bobby, they want it. I said, if you can't take one, you can't take them all. My sister was the same way, my auntie, my daddy's only sister. And I couldn't understand that. What color of our skin got to do with you loving me? So what if one of them was dark or two of them was dark? They're still mine. If you love me, you got to love my kids. And so I had to come home to that. It was just a mess. I mean, a lot of things my family did to me. My mother took my money and spent it on my sister and stuff and all. Instead of taking care of y'all, sent you away. I was sending her money home, and she was helping Floyd Jr., who was right there doing things he didn't need to do at the time, and everything. And it was just hard on me. It made me a bitter person, and that's the person I didn't want to be. But when I came home, I looked for you and found you. I had my nephew get you, and I sent that money out there. He said, "You ought to send the money," and I got it because I know how you feel about your kids. And so got you brought home to me. Because your daddy had just, huh?
Can't say this. That last time you were incarcerated, as you stated, my sisters were separated for some time before being brought back together. My brother was off doing his own thing, and they were in Kansas City. And I was in South Central Los Angeles, California with my father. And
Mhm.
I know you didn't know because you were incarcerated.
Well, mama told me. She told me. And then when I talked to your dad, he wouldn't let me talk to you because he said I'd put all kind of bad ideas in your head because I told him that you play sports and he wouldn't. He said he's going to go to church. I said, you can't make him be you. You can't make him be you. And when I get out, I'm coming after my son. Because you're not gonna mess up his life too. But it was too late.
Well, he's not here no more, so I won't say much, but all I will say is while you were gone, as I've shared with you, that he didn't want to be a father. So
And he
I'm,
wanted to be one when he was when I was out.
I'm just
I
saying,
didn't understand it.
it's just me remembering that I went from foster home to group home to boys home to juvenile detention center.
I know.
I was in Sylmar Juvenile Hall. I was in Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall. I was in Central Juvenile Hall. And before being sent to YA, which is Youth Authority in California, I ended up the case got dismissed. And I remember getting sent to El Monte, California, to McLaren's Children's Center, McLaren's Hall, whichever they called it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember all the placement homes they sent me to didn't work. I ended up back at McLaren's Hall.
But you wanted your mama.
And I do remember when you were coming home, that the interstate contacted me back to Kansas City to you. And
Because I went to court for you.
I do commend you for that. I mean, I truly respect the fact that you came home. And matter of fact, you weren't even home yet. Remember, you were in the honor center.
Yeah.
Before you even made it home, you made every point to locate where I was and got me back with you. And I just wanted to give you your flowers on that because that was probably the roughest period of my life, my childhood, because it's so many times that I had to go through so much in them group homes, foster
I
homes,
know.
and them
And
juvenile
I was
centers.
so mad. I was so mad. I talked about your dad, and I said, and his mother didn't come. And you're supposed to be a preacher, and that's what you do to your child? Oh, his mom and daddy was mad at him. I don't know how William went that far. He just said, want you to play sports. And now he said, I said, you can't make him a preacher. You did your own thing. Until you turned your life around, give him time. If that's what he wants to be, he'll do that. He just wouldn't give you time. He didn't want you to be you.
And that kind of was the turning point because you remember before you left, I was a straight A student in school.
Yeah.
I was playing 3 sports: football, baseball, and basketball. Now, me being with him not wanting me to play sports, I did kind of rebel.
Yeah.
And probably the worst choice I made in my life. I don't speak against the culture because I came from the culture, but the worst choice I made was joining a gang.
Yeah.
Because joining the gang is what led to so many bad choices and so many mistakes that I made. And as you can see, when I came to Kansas City, I was a total different person
Yes.
from the child that I was before you had left. And it wasn't 2 years later that I was going to prison.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think back, I don't ever blame you for any of the choices that I made because
I know it.
my
You
path,
always tell me that.
yeah,
When I come to see you, you tell me that. And we had so much fun. It was like you wasn't in there. Because I made sure I was there every weekend to see you and stuff and all. And the things we did. Oh my goodness.
yeah, I remember. I
I,
remember.
I treat like you was home. And then when you got in trouble and you that glass, I said, I don't come up here to visit you behind no glass. I want my hugs and stuff. And I came to your graduation.
I remember
Tried to
that.
get, I tried when he was in one hall, used to bring the dog up there and you and Dino used to play basketball. And he wouldn't let nobody touch you.
Yeah, that's when I was in the youth center.
Yeah. And they tried to touch the ball, he growled at him and stuff. I remember all those times.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to find me a boxer now.
yeah. But I'm definitely thanking God for everything that He delivered us through. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew from me that I know that my path was my path, and I
I
know
know.
that your path was your path, and I know that God ordered your steps as well as He ordered mine. And I know that some of the free will that He gives us, the choices that I made, I knew right from wrong. Like I think a lot of people don't understand. You can know right from wrong, yet you have to be disciplined enough to make the right choice. And what I lacked was discipline. So that was not your fault with the choices that I made. That was my own fault, the choices that I made.
I could have been there. I should have been there.
So how did you feel as a mother the first time that you visited me and my brother in prison together?
Remember, I cried. I didn't like seeing y'all like that. But then the girl that brought me up there to the first time I saw you was in Norton. And the people were very prejudiced. But anyway, getting there, we riding down the freeway, and Coyotes are chasing the car. She said, well, I'm gonna let you get out. You come right here and drive. I said, I ain't getting out of this car. Them Coyotes. So we got away from the Coyotes trying to get the car. I said, hit the gas, girl. Drive fast. They can't run that fast. But this got horsepower. They can't outrun a horse. So we got away from the Coyotes. Then it started raining, and it's bat netted on the window. So then we got farther and stopped raining. She couldn't see. We was back and forth. And I said, turn the sprinkler, the stuff, the windshield washer thing off. And that hit his eye, and that bat was gone. I said, if we don't hurry and get to nothing, I'm gonna go crazy in this car with you. Then we get up there, and they put us in a bug-infested room to stay in. I said, you might land here, but I can't lay here. I'm going to get back in the car and lay down. I'll be back in here in the morning to clean up so I can get ready to go sing Gregory. And we did, and then for long she was out there with me. I said, the women looking at us crazy, and Norton was something else. I couldn't, I hurry up and got you out of there.
Yes.
I said, it's too far away. I'm sick. I got a bad heart. And I can't get her all the time, so I need him brought closer to me. And they did. And I said, because I'll be there soon. And I got more calls than them people.
Well, I would say that Norton was one of my first true encounters with racism. I will say that.
No, I know.
Yes.
We had it too. They like, what you niggers doing here? I said, nigger, what's a nigger?
Yeah.
She said, that's what a black person. I said, no, nigger can be any color. Don't you ever call me a nigger again. I said, don't do that one now. You're wrong. I said, I'm not no nigger. A nigger's a nasty, filthy person. Do I look nasty, filthy, and dirty? I said, not call you one, because you look a little dusty and dirty there right now. You know, you supposed to be white, and you got little dark spaces around your face. You know, did you wash your face today? I never forget that. She said, this nigger bitch, this. I said, no. You just said two wrong words, nigger and bitch. I'm neither one.
Yeah.
I said, so now if you don't want me to turn this place out, don't do that again. Don't ever do that again. I don't care what you call other people, but you're going to respect me as a human. I have never disrespected you, because I can call you all kind of names, but I haven't. So give me my respect and I'll give you yours. Then everybody started talking to me, and I said, I'll see y'all in the morning. And I definitely got in the car because I knew if I stayed in there, I was going to get in trouble. And I wanted to see you. So I left out because, we had still a few. I don't know why y'all making friends with that nigga. I said, I better go to the car. And like I said, about 2 or 3 hours later, Carmen, the girl, took me. She came out too. But the fun part was seeing you. She used to bring me all the time because I didn't have a car then. When she fell out of that chair on that floor.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too.
And you was at the microwave. Oh, mama laughed so hard. And my mama, she felt bad about what she did. And she didn't want me to come to see you because she knows you're her fault. And like I told her, I forgive you because you felt you didn't know what to do. And you had your mind, because I was a daddy's girl. And they put that on your mind that daddy did everything for me. Well, I was the one daddy told me would always succeed. He could see it in me. That I was going to do what I had to do to take care of my family and stuff. And my father knew that. And he didn't allow my mother to do anything because back then women were allowed. So I taught her how to drive and everything, because when daddy died, she didn't know how to do anything. But what she learned in school. So then she apologized finally. I don't know if she ever did to you, because I told her the apology goes to you. So I don't know if she ever did to you or not and everything. I said, because you sent him to his daddy, and that's when you made a mistake. I said, you could have handled him here. I said, you called him a little shit ass all the time because he was always doing something. But you loved him because he reminded you of your husband. You was at his baseball games and stuff. That's my grandson. That's my grandson. Yeah. But you did what you did. I said, you can't be on both sides of the fence. You can't love him and then hate him. She said, I didn't hate him. It just he reminds me of your dad so much. And he's gone. And that was the only man she ever loved was my father. And you reminded her so much of him.
Right.
And that's why she said she wanted you gone because she couldn't stand to see you act like that and daddy wasn't there.
Right.
You still sleep? I mean,
So that was that reason. But like I said, it worked out in the end. It worked out in the end.
She fine. She just she's there with you. So watch this. Grandma, it wasn't an apology that I was looking for from Grandma, but that last time that I hugged her in the
Uh-huh.
visiting room, and I was looking forward to seeing her that next week because we had so much fun that visit.
Yeah.
As you spoke on, that's the day that Carmen fell out the chair and bounced and Grandma was laughing. We laughed so hard about that. I was so looking forward to that next week visit with Grandma, and we were gonna play cards and talk, and I was looking forward to it. Then I got that call in the middle of the week that she had passed away, and that's something that I just still haven't forgotten to this day.
Yeah, because she was trying to make amends. And I mean, she called me. I'm riding too, so don't fill up that car. I'm going. I said, well, Mama, we might be stopping to do something. She said, I don't care. I'm going to see. I said, okay, you know, sandwiches and tennis shoes.
She came, and I remember that, and I just, I mean, I'm glad she did because I mean it was closure, you know, it
Yeah,
was closure. I mean, it's
she
just
tried. She
maybe
tried.
not to my liking, but I did get to see her. I did get to hug her. We did get to, you know, to
They
let
have time to play cards and stuff and everything.
yes.
And I mean, she wanted to go every week. But she said, you going to see Greg? Yeah, I want to go. I want to go. And I told her, you can go. She just wanted to come. And I know she felt bad about it. But I told her what she needed to do is tell you she was sorry. She said, I know. She said, I don't know how I'm going to say it to him. I said, you figure it out.
I'm a man. I didn't need to hear sorry. Just her hug was enough for me. So
Yeah.
when I walked out into that Lansing Maximum Visiting Room that morning, and I saw y'all, and I saw her, all was forgotten. Just seeing her was enough, you know. And then I hugged her, and I just felt the love and the warmth, and that was enough for me, you know. I don't really need the verbal apologies. Just your presence means the world to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I made it every weekend I could.
And I will give you that. You showed up for me, my whole bid. Tabby, God rest her soul. She showed up for me. Sharita, I understood. She just couldn't take seeing me in there. Because every time Sharita came to see me, she would break down, she would cry. He's not a monster, he's not an animal. Why you gotta treat him like that? Especially when they had to cuff me up and everything. Oh, she couldn't take that. And I understood that. Because someone that loves you, that doesn't want to see you like that, I can understand that.
I didn't cry until I got in the car because I didn't want you to see me crying. I want you to see that I was trying to be strong and stand behind you and help you get yourself together. All I could do was try to give you positive advice. And when they call me, tell me, can you talk to your son? I said, oh, okay. And I called him and said, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You better get yourself together. I was I mean, they were really nice to me because they saw how we acted together as a family. And I guess no one was as lively as we were, because we would be loud sometimes, playing the games and stuff and having so much fun. You would go to the machine, get whatever y'all wanted and stuff and all. I didn't care, mama didn't care, as long as y'all were happy and everything. And it was a family. And they noticed that. They noticed the closeness. And got to when I come up there, they ain't even search me or nothing no more. They knew who I was coming to see and everything, you know? Because I just knew Tab was going to get in trouble walking out there in them boots. But they didn't.
Goodness. So watch this. I will say that, no, I won't say, I will ask you, what are your fondest memories of each one of your children as adults?
Bobby didn't give me any fond memories. He tried to be like somebody I didn't understand, beating women and stuff, disrespecting me. And I took him to the doctor because I noticed one time in his eyes that wasn't my son talking to me. And when they got through all the tests, I found out Bobby had 4 personalities.
Mhm.
And I was always confused by who was who. He was Bobby himself. And I think his name was Clarence. He was permissive. I mean, he was submissive. He always sat in the corner, shy, scared. And that wasn't Bobby. But then that loud, boisterous one came over to my house. They were living next door, and he come over telling me, "What are you gonna do?" And I told him, I said, "Bobby, you better come out of this one. 'Cause I don't want to kill my own son. But this fool talking about beating my butt. This is my house, my boo. I'm getting ready to blow his brains out. So you better come on out of there."
Oh my goodness.
And he didn't come out, so I had to hit him. And so I had him come down, let's come and get him taken to the hospital, and they put him in KU. And he was mad at me for a while, but I wanted to see him. I said, "Bobby, it was either I hit you or I killed you because you weren't yourself. You have multiple personalities, and you got to deal with this. I can't help you deal with it. I don't have the training for it. This is why I have to put you here. I put you here out of love, not out of the fact that you have this problem. I love you and I want you back. I don't want all them other people back because they mean no good to me or you. And if we can find out a way to do it," and I had to hand feed him his medicine because he didn't want to take it to keep him calm and keep him himself and stuff and all. Because Bobby didn't believe it was really happening because when he going to them persons, he didn't know who he was. Wasn't no Bobby. But then the one that was so cruel and violent, he said, "Bobby over there sitting in the corner like I told him." All right. That's the one that was submissive. And he could boss him around and stuff and all. Then we had one that was happy all the time. Then one that was sad all the time. Then this monster. Like I said, I didn't know who's who. I come in, Bobby living next door. I come home, make sure my house wasn't burned up, or he steal everything out of my house or something. It wasn't him. He did things, broke my windows out of my car and stuff and all because I told him to go sit down somewhere, but it wasn't him. I had to go through all that, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I was married to Alpha Hell, and then he was scared about me, which everybody in the house was but me. Uncle Shrina didn't want me to be at next door. I told just lock the doors up and stuff and all. Y'all be all right. But they were terrified of their brother because they didn't understand. So then Floyd Jr. didn't help. I moved out of the ghetto, moved on state line, tried to do that. Oh, that was a mess. Everything I tried to do to make things better, someone would kick me in the butt of the face for it. And also, I decided to move to California after I got two out and stuff. I said, I'm going back because I was happier here than in Kansas City because there was so many bad memories. And so I left and I started a new life. And I feel good about it. And it's helped me be the person I am today. I'm loved by genuine people. First of all, I love myself now. I love myself. Before I lost weight and stuff, I was wearing 24 and a half. I loved myself. I didn't care. But nobody else thought I dressed myself up, fixed myself up, and I didn't care what nobody thought. And I walked with my head up in the air like I used to do. It's not that I thought I was better than anybody. I love me. And this is what God told me. Only person if I didn't love me, how am I gonna love somebody else? Because if you don't know how to love yourself, you can't love anybody else. You've got to love yourself first because the word says God is love. 23rd Psalm says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That's the sermon, the verse I say every time I got to go into surgery. Lord knows I've been in surgery enough times till I have that one down pat. And so that's why I go back and say, God came into my life and made me a different person. When I was in Virginia, I had so much fun with you. Little Greg. When I would come and visit, little Greg and I would sit up all night long, knowing he had to go to school. I got there sometimes, one time they was in programs and stuff and all. And I enjoyed it. I had fun with my two grandsons. And when Dominic came out and all and everything, it was nice. I loved them. I still love them. And for some reason, they don't talk to me no more. Phone number hasn't changed or nothing. But I didn't think I'd ever done anything wrong. But I don't know. But I love my family. My family is first and foremost in my life. If anybody reads my Facebook page, they'll see when I do them name tests and stuff, and that, oh my God, it always comes up that I'm strong into family. I love my whole family no matter what they've done to me, whether it be good or bad. I don't forget, but I don't linger on it. I move on. I just had problems not too long ago. I moved on. If they leave me alone, I leave them alone. Because I'm trying to live a peaceful, faithful life. I want to be faithful and peaceful with my family, but if I can't, I have to move on. Because I'm not going to let nobody destroy me and make me go back to my old ways because I enjoy me. I love me. God is love in me. I see his love. I feel his love. And I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. And I see it in you. I see it in some of my grandkids. But I see a lot of it out here in Bakersfield where I am with the seniors and people my age. And they've all had problems and troubles and stuff. And we sit down and talk about it, but I don't talk about mine because it's not their business. But if they want to talk to me about theirs, it's fine. But my past is my past. And that's where I leave it. I leave it there. It reminds me of what I need to do, but they can't help me. So I don't need to discuss it with them. I discuss it with God, and he forgave me, and I forgave myself. So I've moved on. I'm proud of who I am today. Sherry Ann Stevenson Hale. I'm proud of my son, Gregory Wells. I love my daughters, and I'm proud of Bobby. He's trying. It's hard for him because he did so much. He won't listen. Bobby was a hard head. He didn't listen. But I'm gonna tame him if I get to be here when he comes home. I'm gonna tame him. I'm gonna get it. I got the tab now. I got the Bible. He wants the Quran. I got the Bible. I'm gonna hit him with the Bible. And I'm gonna get him back right. I'm gonna do that. I guess that's why God's keeping me here right now, because I've asked him, don't take me until I get my family together. I want my kids, my two sons, and all my grandkids, great grandkids, brothers, their family. I just want everybody to get together. I'm trying to plan a family reunion, and I don't want it in Kansas City, Virginia, anywhere. I want it somewhere neutral. So can't nobody say, oh, we have it here because this is so-and-so place. No, I want a neutral place, and I'm trying to find one where everybody can afford, they want to come down, they can save and try to get there for this family reunion so that we can rejoice and laugh and have fun like we did at the one we had to park. That was a beautiful time. We had so much fun. Everybody got together. We haven't done it since. And we need to do that. So I'm trying to get it together and see if I can find some place to go to have it so that we can join hands together and just be a family. Because I love all of y'all. I love everybody in my family. No matter what, I'm stand by you. I'll never stand in front of you unless I'm fussing at you. But I'm never going to walk behind anybody. I will be beside you always. And will always give my love. If I have nothing else, I have my love.
All right. I love everything you just said. And I see your emotions are running a little high. So
I always do when I talk about my family.
That's a mother's love. There's nothing like
Yeah.
a mother's love. And I would like to tell you something that I've learned as I've aged here on this earth,
Okay,
a mother does know best. If a mother tells you, she knows. Listen. If a mother tells you, listen, because she knows.
we've always had our ears to the ground.
So I want to ask you one more question
Okay,
to conclude this interview. Is there anything you like to see me do before, God willing, if you were to go before me? Because we don't know what God's plans are. If you were to go before me, is there anything you like to see me do?
make yourself be what you want to be. You want to be a published author, post games, make games, and do that. That's your dream. I just want you to follow your dream, not nobody else's, not dreams you had in the past that you did with somebody else. Your dreams, what's in your heart. I want you to do what's in your heart. If it's in your heart to tell you to do it, that's what I want to see you do. And if I have to help you and give you my last dime, I will, to see you follow your dream because you're mine. And that's what I want. And if I would love to see it before I go. I've already seen some of it and I've loved it. Just follow your heart.
Well, speaking of the game, as I did a test run with you and a few others, and so far all of you are loving the game. Am I correct?
Yes, chocolate had a ball with it.
I will have the game published next month, and it will be available for purchase. And the name of the game, if you do see it floating around, the name of the game is Mass Truce. Plead the fifth, take a sip.
Okay.
It will be published and it will be available for purchase.
All right, I have an order for 2 right now.
Order filled.
Okay.
Now, is there anything you'd like to say with conclusion of this interview?
I enjoyed myself. I had a lot of fun. I got a lot of things out that I have held in for a long time. And like I said, it's just, I've learned you can't hold on to things. You have to let it go. And mother used to tell me all the time, let go, let God. And ever since I had that 30th heart surgery, I've let go and let God. And I'm still here. People have died with less than I've been through, but I'm still here because God's finally got me to let go and let Him. He's in charge of my life now. So I'll tell anyone, if you have problems and they're so serious to you think you can't do nothing about it, give it to God. Because He'll wrap His arms around you and bring you out of anything He feels you need to be out of. All you have to do is believe and serve.
I love that. And I'm going to leave us with a scripture, James 4:17.
Good one.
It is sin to know what you ought to do and not do it.
Good.
Depending on which version of the Bible you're reading, it still says and means the same thing. It is
Yes.
sin to know what you ought to do and not do it. So now that I know how to make the better choice, the appropriate choice, the right choice, I know in my heart and in my mind that I'm sinning if I choose to do opposite of that. And I thank you for giving birth to me. I thank you for the love, the strength, the discipline, the knowledge, everything in between that you gave me, because everything that you gave me has made me who I am today. And I may have had to get lost in life and find my way. Evidently, that was God's plan for me, because everything that I've been through has
You're
made me who
stronger.
I am today.
You're stronger. A good father, a good man, you're stronger. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of the man you've become. I'm glad you've got God in your heart now and you understand reading the Bible and everything. You just amaze me. You're growing up the way I wanted you to grow up and be, because you can be anything you want to be. But I want you to go ahead and follow your dream on your books, but you need to coach Little League like you was doing. I see that. I see you doing that. You might not be able to help the teenagers and all that, but you can start the little boys and get them where they're supposed to be, like you did. Someone help you start. Get you a little league for baseball or something, or football. the little weenie boys, you know? Teach them how to do the game right.
But I'm starting to get some speaking engagements lined up as well, so I'm gonna continue to take steps where God leads me, you know?
Okay,
Ask God to order my steps, and as He orders them, I'm gonna make sure that I'm obedient.
well, if He orders you to get that little league, see yourself in one of those little boys. Or that they're playing and playing, get to where you didn't get, maybe they'll get to the NBA. The NBA, they want you, but what you did with the Rockets and the Magic and stuff. Don't forget to put those shirts in the glass like you took my shirts. Yes.
See, I gave you one of my jerseys
I know you got
from when
you.
I played basketball. I was supposed to sign it, and you were supposed to put it in a case. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put my signature on it and put it in a case.
And you keep it here. You
And then
keep it
put it up
be
on the
safe.
wall.
You keep it so be safe.
That's a memory.
Yes,
there's
I'll
no
see if
memory.
you call me.
There's no memory like this interview would be. I can watch this interview over and over and over. These are the memories for me.
Okay. I love you
Love
so.
you.
All right. Thank you.
I love you.
Love you more.
Thank you for coming on the show. And of course, I'll be FaceTiming you in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm very